Plaintiff Frank Clark dated the defendant, but he claims their relationship was off and on because the defendant was always going back to his ex. Frank claims he bought the defendant a plane ticket so they could move in together in Frank's hometown, but the defendant ended up cheating on him, so he's suing for the cost of the ticket. Defendant Matthew Ballantyne admits that there was a lot of drama with his ex while he and Frank were dating. And when Frank offered to buy him a plane ticket so they could move in together, he was hopeful that they were going to get back together. However, that was not the case, and he refuses to pay for the plane ticket because it was a gift.
Prove your case.
Matthew and I met in January 2007. We met through a mutual friend and became friends quickly after that. Not too long after befriending each other, we started dating, I guess you could say. And one day I just didn't hear from him. No phone calls, no text messages, no emails, only to find out that he was seeing someone else now.
How long after you all began seeing each other did you discover that?
I'm gonna say about 4 or 5 weeks or something.
What prohibited him from seeing someone else if you all had no commitment and it was only 4 weeks into the relationship?
I mean, you could say something, you could. You
didn't ask.
He wasn't there. I mean, of course I was asking. I was text messaging him.
So you say, are you seeing someone else?
Well, no, not directly, but where are you? What's going on? What's up? Why am I not hearing from you?
And what would he say?
Nothing. I got an email back a week later stating that it was too much for him. He couldn't be in a relationship is what the original email said. And that he maybe one day when I forgive him, we could be friends again.
Forgive him for wanting to
for
abandon
basically
the relationship.
Putting me through a week of uncertainty, I guess.
1 week.
Yeah. When you're 18 years old, that's a lot. Right out of high school.
All right. Let me allow him to give a little background.
All right, first of all, Your Honor, we do share a best friend. She introduced us a few years back, like he said. It was off and on just over the years, really. That's kind of the nutshell.
You and he were off and on?
Yeah. It was a second time, and then there was this last third time, which is why we're here.
Who was that couldn't stay away? Who couldn't stay away? Who kept coming back?
Well,
sounds like you. Sounds like you kept coming
it was my
back.
drama back and forth between my ex and him, and it was just so much drama back and forth and back and forth. The thing was, he loves the drama, like he lives in the drama. So that's why he could just never say, enough is enough, don't talk to me. It was, well, okay, And so really it's just...
Last time you all broke up, when and why?
Let's see, this last time, which is why we're here, it was more drama back and forth between my ex. It's just been a big dramatic scene. This was January of last year,
And what
January
happened
2009.
this time? What happened on that occasion?
I was living in Charlotte at the time, and he said, we started talking via instant messenger and, getting to know each other again, and it was, well, maybe third time's the charm, okay. I'm working here and it'll be fine, I'll save up money and then I'll fly back to LA and we can, see what happens. But instead it was, no, I need you here now, I'll fly you out, don't worry about anything, I'll take care of it, you'll stay with me, we'll find you a job, we'll do all that
I need you here now.
Yes, now.
He was desperate for you.
And of course I was hopeful.
Is that how you told him?
No.
Go ahead.
I was hopeful, I went there with the best intentions, and when it fell apart, what can I say?
Why did it fall apart?
It was just
Who
the
started
same
the
drama.
Your Honor, I have, transcripts of him talking to his ex while
Okay, so that's how it fell apart. He was cheating again.
Yeah.
Not cheat on anybody.
Let's get to the airline ticket. That's why he couldn't answer the question.
Would you like to see them, Your Honor?
Let's see.
You can choose the stuff you want to read aloud.
All right. What you doing that black fingernail polish? Is that popular in the gay community?
In lots of communities,
Men wearing black?
Adam Lambert, I don't know.
Okay, isn't he gay?
Yeah, lots of gay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't recall. Now that you mentioned him, yeah, I would assume it is. All right, just asking. Just like to be up on everything. I just want to sit next to you and look into your eyes and tell you things. Have you been cute about the most random stuff? I don't know what that means. Dump Frank and run to you? Oh, what, your heart tells you? Obviously, I need a better answer than that. All right, you're right. Somebody, I don't know which one of you all like drama, but somebody certainly does. Airline ticket, how does he owe you for that?
We were speaking in January of 2009, and we had agreed that we couldn't have a long distance relationship. It just wouldn't work. And that since we had known each other for so long, it wouldn't be bothersome for him to move in. So I said, okay, I'll, clear my bedroom, I'll make space for you, come live with me, I'll move you out here, and once you're settled, you can pay me back. I didn't expect for us to break up. I didn't expect to have to chase him down. I expected to come to this,
Was there a time frame to pay?
No time frame. I found him a job, or I didn't find him a job, I got him a job interview. That didn't go through because things ended too quickly.
And this was over a year ago, and he hasn't paid you. How much?
$270
the amount you're suing for,
approximately.
$269. Sorry, what do you say?
It's just, am I supposed to suffer because the relationship didn't work out?
Suffer how?
Because the ticket was a gift.
Oh,
he
okay.
said,
Your Honor,
I need you here
I have
now.
otherwise.
I want to be with you. Third time's the charm.
You never
Let's get
asked
another
for
shot.
his money back?
Not until everything went downhill.
Did you remind him it was a gift?
At first, and then I felt guilty that it, didn't work out.
And?
So I said, okay, I'll pay you when I can. I'm always in between jobs, always, worrying about
So
bills
do you
and all
still
that stuff.
intend to pay him?
After all this time, I'm thinking about it. It's like a year later. I don't really feel like I owe him anything anymore.
Right.
The ticket was a gift. The relationship didn't work out, and I'm supposed to suffer for that?
Your Honor,
All
I didn't
right.
pay for him to come out here and cheat on me.
I didn't cheat on anybody. There's no proof of anyone cheating on anybody. Drama
in my
between
ticket?
exes.
Why don't you read your text that confirms that he agreed to pay for whatever
Okay.
you had?
I forget that I don't see the date here exactly, but it was shortly after, in April 2009. There we go. I Facebooked him. So do you ever plan on paying me back? And in the long response he gave me says, your job pays you well enough so you won't die tomorrow. Just have some patience. Believe me, I love to pay you and everyone else back.
Oh, right. Doesn't sound like a person who's paying because they feel guilty. It sounds
Yes.
like a person who is committed to pay because they owe. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good
Your
day.
Honor. I have no feelings whatsoever.
We haven't spoken in a year, so.
It was good times, it was bad times, and now I'm having good times on my own. I hope you're having some good on your own as well.
I don't know. I'm just so over the drama. Like, everything's a big drama, so I'm just over it.
Hi, Judge Mathis. I'm Nate. I've got a question for you. If someone provokes a physical altercation with me and I retaliate, can they hold me liable for their injuries?
If you're in a fight, Nate, and you use equal force to that which is used against you, you are entitled to defend yourself. If, however, you retaliate or you use excessive force different from the force they used against you, you could then be held responsible for the other person's injuries.